Hey there, everyone, welcome back, as well as my fellow skateboarders. So I came across this article and I found it really interesting because it states that skateboarding is now an Olympic sport, but there's nowhere to train indoors in Vancouver. While other skateboarding nations build impressive facilities away from the elements, Canadians must head south to maintain their skills during the winter. That's 100% accurate and true. We do have skate parks, but none of them are actually indoors. None of them are actually properly covered. The roofs are just art pieces, and it's very frustrating as a skateboarder, as well as other skateboarders that are wanting to train for the Olympics or even just skate in general, because, in Vancouver, it rains and snows quite a lot of the time of the year. It actually states here Canadian skateboarding team member Adam Hopkins at Hastings Bowl in Vancouver on January 7th. He, along with his teammates, are traveling to Texas for a month to train as there are no indoor skateboarding facilities to which to do so here. So the Canadian Skateboard Olympic team has to travel to Texas to train for a month or so because there's nowhere to skate or train in Canada. That is just absolutely a joke. It states here for 3 years during the rainy months before COVID-19 closed borders, Adam Hopkins would jump into his van, head to Seattle, and spend 3 or 4 days a week camping there just to practice his sport. Hopkins, 31, is a senior member of Canada's skateboarding team, and sure enough, on January 8th, he was packing his suitcase again, only this time for a month in Texas to train with his teammates because there's nowhere indoors in Metro Vancouver to work on their moves, which is absolutely pathetic and sad that Vancouver, which is known for skateboarding, has hosted Slam City Jam as well as multiple other events, doesn't even have an indoor facility yet, multiple indoor facilities for kids to go practice, have fun, as well as their professional athletes in the Olympics to train. This is just absolutely pathetic and sad. Also, Hopkins, I want to know, how can I join the Canada skateboarding team? That'd be amazing. It goes on to state, in fact, of the half dozen BC born members on the 12 skater national team, four live in the Los Angeles area so they can train year round. To maintain that skill level in Vancouver in the winter, you have to leave, Hopkins said. That's why we're going to Texas for a month. The irony is almost every world-class skater uses Canadian hard rock maple because the cold winters make the wood dense and solid, while those same winters force the skaters themselves to become snowbirds. That's just totally ironic there. I agree with Hopkins there. That just doesn't make any sense on why we have no indoor facilities. They should be opening indoor facilities like part of the recreation centers. Vancouver, the first city in North America to legalize skateboarding, Hopkins said had a handful of skate parks, but only Hastings Bowl at the Peony, a 20-year-old facility that could use a polish, is world class. But it's still not covered. It doesn't have a dome over it. It's still outdoor to all the elements. He goes on to state that nearby is Leaside Tunnel under the Cassiar Connector, which provides cover from the rain, but it's a DIY project skaters themselves undertook. That's right, us skaters had to go find a bridge, and underneath the bridge, we made a DIY skate park, but still, it's not indoors, it's just covered by a bridge, and there's still other risks involved with skating outside and not an indoor facility. It goes on to state that you can buy an entry level board for around $100, cheaper than a lot of the hockey sticks. And even the pro models cost about 200 to 250, again cheaper than a high-end hockey stick. But that's the thing, is that us skaters need to figure out how to turn skateboarding into a sport like hockey or tennis or anything else, because skateboarding as a sport is like totally underappreciated, and us skaters, for the tricks and the abilities that we can do, we're also really underappreciated in the world, and it's really sad. Goes on to state that, but better facilities cost money. Of course, it's a federal through Sport Canada and municipal taxpayers who would be on the hook, just like there are for ball diamonds, soccer and rugby pitches, tennis and basketball courts, hockey and curling rinks. But you figure at this point, skateboarding would have a bigger impact than these other sports. It's just that they have like teams and they've been around for a long time, where skateboarding was kind of an outcast sport and now it's kind of becoming mainstream mainstream. And now that it's becoming mainstream, of course, we do need more facilities in indoor skate parks. I'd also like to say and point out that a lot of these soccer fields or baseball diamonds have massive lights, floodlights, so they can like turn on and it's like basically like daylight, where half the skate parks barely have any lights, and the lights that they do have don't even work, or if they do work, they barely even shine any light, so there's no point in even skating at the park at night. I want to state that coming up with funding has been a grind, if you'll pardon the pun, especially before skateboarding became an Olympic sport. Adam Higgins, the high performance director and national team coach with Canada Skateboard, said from his Squamish home. Things are starting to change now, he said, but we're not awash, that's for sure. There are two Olympic skateboarding events: street, stairs, handrails, and ledges, and park, think skateboarding in an empty backyard pools. Vancouver native Micky Papa finished 10th in the men's street at Tokyo, and Kamloops native Matt Berger 20th, while White Rock Andy Anderson was 16th in men's park. And many countries with similar climates to Canada's treat the sport with a bit more reverence. Germany and France have several massive indoor spaces. That's pretty cool. In Sweden, there are skateboard schools in Malmo. Japan has multiples of the same, as do the Netherlands, Brazil, Australia, and the US. So it really sounds like Canada's slacking in supporting skateboarders or even new up-and-coming skateboarders and their Olympic team. If you look globally at the skate parks that exist, there are gigantic facilities with lights, with roofs, or they're just full-out indoor parks, Hopkins said. Basically every high competing nation has a large indoor space, is added Higgins, who said skateboarding's TV ratings at Tokyo show it like snowboarding before it. It has evolved from its grungy, eerily stereotype. Both men began to skateboard in their early teens. When Hopkins was around 14, he and his dad built a vert ramp, a form of a halfpipe, in the family's barn outside of Thunder Bay, Ontario. State that there are lots of tricks I do nowadays in competition I learned in that barn by myself or with a couple of friends, he said. Hopkins said he sees dozens of incredible, talented young boy and girl skateboarders in Vancouver. I agree, but like I said, we're all really underappreciated. Meanwhile, the candidate primed to become the face of skateboarding in Canada is a national team member, Faye DiVazio Ebert, an 11-year-old Toronto girl. That's actually pretty cool. The next generation is there, Hopkins said. The kids have the talent, the kids have the passion, dedication, they love it. It's going to take having facilities with challenging terrain that dictates how far they excel. I complete 100%, but if we don't have indoor facilities or indoor parks or anything, or even just like, skate parks with a roof to cover and, keep the elements out, skateboarders are never going to progress. That's why a lot of us skateboarders end up falling out of love with the sport, because during the winter time, in the winter season, we can't skate. There's nowhere to skate, and half the time it's raining, so you can't skate when it's raining as well. So you just end up giving up on it, even though you still love it, because during those times, even if you don't skate for, let's just say, a month or 2 months, you completely get rusty and you lose your consistency, and it's really frustrating because I can relate, since I haven't skated in 2 years because of spinal fractures that I suffered from. That now that I'm starting to skate again, it's really hard and it's going to take a lot of effort and work. So if we had indoor facilities and parks in place, people would have a place to go to that's safe. People can train and excel in the sport and the industry, but sadly, Vancouver and as well as Canada hasn't seen this, and I don't think they're going to change it anytime soon, sadly, unless us skaters or the skateboarding community or industry can somehow morph skateboarding into something like hockey or tennis, where there's huge funds going and being poured into it. So yeah, I agree with Adam Hopkins 100%. When they built the Slam City Jam every year, it would have been cool if that was permanent, but it was only temporary. Vancouver and places all across Canada do need indoor parks and indoor facilities. And like I said, in my own personal opinion, they should make it like part of the rec center. They should have it for skateboarding, BMXing, scootering, and basically charge like a $5 to $10 fee for the day, just like they do with like a recreational pool. And then more people would be prone to go try it. You'd have adults, kids, Olympics, athletes, all sorts of people going there, as well as families, just to enjoy it, because we literally have nothing right now and it's just a shame. Anyways, I came across this article and I wanted to share it with everyone. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this in the comments below. Do you think the province, as well as the federal government, should start funding more towards building these indoor facilities and indoor parks? Or do you think they should just leave it as it is and, basically us Canadian skaters have to go down south in order to excel and progress in the industry? And like I said, in my own honest personal opinion, skateboarding as a sport in general is underappreciated. A lot of the skateboarders, the tricks they can do, their talent is really underappreciated. You watch the local news on the sports the sports time, and they don't have skateboarding at all. They have like tennis players, hockey, soccer, but no skateboarding. And hopefully one day that will change. Anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions about this in the comments below. Please like this video, share it with your friends and family so they're aware. And last but not least, please click that subscribe button down below. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it helps me out a lot. And I really, truly do appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe. God bless you all. Take care and peace out.